to get to today, but we will begin with some breaking news. Michael Bloomberg is officially joining the presidential race. Our Ed O'Keefe is at the Washington Bureau. Ed, the slogan, according to the website, is Rebuild America. What do you think the entry of this billionaire entrepreneur into the race will be?
Well, for one thing, it pumps a lot more money into this race. The fact that he's going to spend at least $34 million across dozens of states to run an ad over the next week or so to introduce himself, not in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, and Nevada, but in places like Florida, New York, Illinois, several southern states as well, because he's going to take aim instead of those early states at the Super Tuesday states that vote in early March, believing that he has no chance at this point to build a formidable operation in those early areas, and instead wants to sell himself basically to the rest of the country. And he'll be essentially waiting out whoever emerges from those first four states, at least that's his hope, and will be able to confront them come Super Tuesday. But he enters the race as a moderate, as someone who is concerned about the direction of the Democratic Party and certainly the direction of the country. And he's making good on something, Margaret, as you and I know very well, that he's thought about doing since at least 2008.
And this time he's pulling the trigger and getting in. We've seen the ad. We know that Senators Warren and Senator Sanders have been very harshly critical of Bloomberg's wealth and sort of characterized him as buying his way into a race without a grassroots movement. And it struck me in watching his ad, this particular line, it seemed to be a nod to them.
The wealthy will pay more in taxes, and the middle class get their fair share. Everyone without health insurance can get it, and everyone who likes theirs keep it.
That's right. It absolutely did. And, you know, they see him as a convenient foil for their ongoing push against the wealthy and big corporations in this country. You know, Tom Steyer, the philanthropist, has been in this race but hasn't really made much of an impact. Bloomberg will immediately draw far more attention. And in that ad, you notice he says that he would support health care if you like what you have right now, or essentially provide a public option. That puts him to the right of Warren and Sanders, probably more in line with Joe Biden, believing that instead of ripping up the Affordable Care Act, it should be built out. So he will continue to make this sort of centrist push, believing that what Sanders and Warren are suggesting is not good for the country and certainly not good for the Democratic Party in the short term. And we'll see sort of how Sanders and Warren use his entry now as a potential argument for their candidacy instead.